Good day, welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at the priest and the priest changes. This one's actually super duper simple and quick, so I just wanted to kind of bang this one out. But priest class I've played mainly as shadow, but priest healing's always been in a good space. Priests have been in a good space, so I think the changes looking very minimal makes a lot of sense, really, to be honest with you. So priest, new talent, cauterizing shadows. When your shadow word pain or purge the wicked expires, basically always refresh with less than 5 seconds remaining, and nearby ally within 40 yards is healed. Okay, so this I think is pretty straightforward. It's just a way to provide a little bit more AoE healing for the class. New talent, Phantom Reach, increases the range of most spells by 15%. So again, priest traditionally has had short range spells, which can cause some problems, especially when healing, so this is quite helpful. Manipulation has been redesigned, so now causes you to take 1 to 2% less damage from targets affected by Shadow Word Pain, Purge the Wicked, or Holy Fire. This is also fine, but more mitigation and damage taken. Power Word Life, increase in healing. Void Tendrils now root to target for 15 seconds, not 20. You can see they've balanced the Entangle root abilities across the board. A lot of them are 15 seconds now. Power Word Spell and Luminous Basin's absorb values now have a 5% variance, like other healing spells, and the following talents have been removed: Mind Games and Shattered Perceptions. So the overarching stuff, honestly, is pretty straightforward. I think, for me, pretty simple. And yeah, I'd have to say priest, on the overarching, not a lot, and just in general, not a lot, realistically speaking. Discipline, Rapture increases the absorption of your next 3 power word shields by 80%, was 40% in last 8 seconds, so just a flat buff to power word shield, which I think is fine, because power word shield is one of those spells. It's really, really helpful, good utility, and it was feeling a bit fragile, wasn't doing a lot, could be wiped out by like one base spell, one AoE spell, so this just gives it a little bit more juice. Luminous Barrier absorb amounts increased. Luminous Barrier now decreases absorb amount beyond 5 targets. So this is also just one of those things. The barriers, the power word shields, I'm not saying they weren't being used, they just weren't, they weren't like doing their business. So I think what they're doing here is just enabling them to be more actual shields that can take and absorb damage, and this should give Discipline a very good competitive feel, because these are actual also very spammable good abilities for Discipline in terms of rotation. Holy, so with Holy, how can I say, 2 small changes. Divine Hymn healing increased by 400%, now decreases its healing beyond 5 targets. So Holy, from an AoE side of things, like in terms of healing, very weak. The Divine Hymn increase and everything helps to balance out a little bit, give it a little bit more juice, and just kind of let it do its thing. Just let it do its thing, which I think is great. And then finally we have Shadow. So Mind Flare and Sandy now deals damage every 0.5 seconds for 2 seconds. This is the exact same thing as before in terms of points of stack, but happening in a shorter period of time. So in theory, over rotation should net you more damage. Mind Flare Insanity though now generates 12 Insanity because of this, because it's now obviously more spammable to help prevent a little bit of over excess flow of resources. They've reduced its generation. Void Torrent damage increased by 30%. Shadow Crash is now a choice node with an option to have it be cast on your target, and then they fixed an issue causing the range of Psychic Link to not be increased by Phantom Reach. Honestly, all in all, gotta say, I think the changes to Priest are decent. Like I said, Priest was in a good space. Priest did not need major reworks, so Priest not getting major reworks is fine. All of these classes just need a slight touch-up, improvement on the barriers of Discipline, slight touch-up and improvement on Holy's access to cheap AoE healing spells, and then Shadow just basically having a little bit of a faster and better uptime on its damage over time, and thus being able to hopefully maintain its flow of damage a bit better. That's honestly it. Realistically speaking, super. Good day, welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at the